Very much, seventh grade, for having me part of your PLC. I totally agree with the fact of having 798 as your high leverage SE for the upcoming 6 weeks. So here we have 79A. What else do we know about 79A? Is last year we scored 26%. It's a readiness standard that we scored 26%. What does 79A stand for? Is solving problems involving volume with rectangular prism, triangular prism, rectangular pyramids, and triangular pyramids. That's what the SE stands. That's what we are going to be dealing with this year. But what have we done? What have we done before, in the years before in sixth grade? Well, let's see. Sixth grade, they work with 6AD, which is a readiness as well. And they also work with 8C, which is a supporting standard. Now, this readiness standard last year, sixth grade, they scored 48%. Now, the supporting standard, they scored 51% passing. Now, this one says students are going to be writing equations to represent areas for rectangles, trapezoids, triangles, and also they're going to be working with volume for rectangular pyramids, rectangular prisms. Okay. Now with 6AD is the readiness, and this one student is going to be determining solutions for areas of, again, rectangles, parallelograms, triangles, and also for volume for right rectangular prism. So on this one, we're writing down equations. This one is determining solutions. So I know that these two will be supporting what we do in seventh grade. But let's just go one more level down, okay? And that is fifth grade. Now, fifth grade works with 5.4H. Now, you want to know what they did last 2 years before? They scored 45% on this one. It's a readiness. This was tested 6 times. This was tested 8 times. This was tested 3 times. And this one has been tested 8 times. So have that in mind. We can see a trend right here. Right here, students needed to work with solve and represent areas, perimeter, and volume for geometric shapes. So we understand that if we want our students to succeed here, we have to really strengthen the bottom part of it. Now, we know where we are, we know where we have been, and I know where are we going. Now, 8th grade is going to be addressing volume or solving problems with volume for cones, cylinders, and spheres. So that is a trend. We can see that if we want our students to succeed here, we have to strengthen the leg that we have on this side. Now, what can we do? We know where we are. We know that we are in need of doing something else. So what can we do? Number one, always bring context in your lessons. We see teachers doing teaching the skills, the procedural piece, but we don't get to see students actually solving and engage in mathematical task where context play a critical piece. So context is number one. Number two, make use of the reference chart. Our students need to be familiar with the formulas. If our students have a copy of the reference chart, they make use of the reference chart on a daily basis, and we get them to understand when to use X or Y, the volume or the area formula, if we get them to understand when to use these formulas, are going to be better prepared. Believe it or not, if we go and analyze the items on the STAR release, we see that our students are struggling just because they do not know what formula to use when it comes to volume. So, number one, context. Number two, reference chart. Number three, TRS, specificity. We want our teachers to really explore the TRS, go into the enhanced TEKS verification, go into your IFD, and understand how deep you really need to go into the SE. What kind of problems our students are going to be facing when it gets to the common assessment, when they get to the STAR test. So they need to understand that the more that they get exposed to those kind of settings, how many problems will have visuals, how many problems are going to have no visuals. So if our students are not familiar with the different ways these items are presented to them, then they're going to be struggling and they're going to be shocked by the time they get there. So let's prepare with facing and utilizing the STAR items. One more thing, if you want to address fifth grade, there's no way, you have no time to address fifth grade concepts and skills. So how can we do that? Integrate those skills within your math routines. So have your math routines on a daily basis. Have your area, perimeter, and volume. Now, one more step. I'm going to go with math routines, and I'm going to ask you, try to get your students to work the problems out with mental math. So if you have your students to do the area and the perimeter of geometric shape, the volume of the geometric shape, using mental math, you're going also to encourage and to bring up their computational fluency. So you're going to help them not just with the math routine, not help them with the fifth grade concepts, but you also going to bring up the mental math, the computational fluency. I believe that if you address these 5 basic points, your 7th grade students are going to be better prepared. Thank you.